Okay, so this is Andrew C. Graham. Uh, we've successfully celebrated Pesach. It's some sort of holiday that I've been adhering to for a while, and I did all 8 days this year. Believe it or not, last year I think I only did seven, and celebrated mostly on the porch or something like that, and sometimes inside too. This year was mostly inside. Actually, I think almost all inside. So the point is that the it was relatively interesting. I had a couple of modifications, um, uh, not that many this year that as I had previously completed last year to the holiday. In other words, the first 3 days, the first 2.5 or 3 days were the holiday days for me. Pesach is technically a 7 day holiday if you're in Israel, 8 days if you're not in the land of Israel or something like that. But then there's this. The theory states, well, what is really Israel? It's technically was Palestine, and when the religion began in the beginning of the religion, with the invention or the realization of Hebrew writing, ancient Hebrew, and rabbinic Hebrew, and things like that, there were no countries, there were no nation states. That concept didn't really exist as much. There were people, and they were, so that's all I'm saying. So if you say, when people say don't believe everything, either my grandfather Hugh, I did not meet him or whatever. My father told me this one time. He said I didn't have that many conversations with your grandfather, his father, but he says, don't believe everything that you read in the papers or something like that. Anyways, with that said, it should be relatively obvious when it comes to some religious things, and sometimes even in business every now and again, believe it or not. So the point is that, with that being said, the celebration was fascinating. You lean to the left. If you're sitting on if a bucket is your chair, and you kind of like lean to the left, and sometimes you go to the right if it's easier or whatever like that. And so these things are minhags and customs. And the last thing I did celebrate, and then there's intermediary days. I celebrated the holiday, so Baruch Hashem was able to keep to the tradition. And other than that, thinking about going into